Hello, dear students. Today we're going to go through a story sample. It's actually an answer to an exam question. What is the exam question asking for? Write a story with the title, The English Exam. You should use a variety of tenses and your story must be between 180 and 220 words. Okay, so let's start thinking what or how could we plan the writing. First thing, you put the title for your writing. Then, to think of a plan for the story, you have to think of the plot. What comes first? Characters and settings. Setting is the time and place. Then the rising events, which leads you to the peak of the story, which is the conflict or problem. Then falling events that leads to a resolution. Resolution is solving the problem. In the following events, you'll put the ways of solving or trials, ways they tried to solve the conflict or the problem. Okay, let's start first here and see. Dimitri, he's the character, woke up at 7 a.m. He had been chatting with a friend on the computer until nearly midnight the previous night. So he was feeling quite tired, but also rather nervous because this was the day of an important English exam at school. Okay, so here they started with the character, Dimitri, woke up at 7 a.m. This is the setting. When and where. And he also mentioned the feeling. How did he feel? He was quite tired, but also rather nervous. Why? Because this was the day of an important English exam at school. Dimitri had been studying very hard for this exam for the previous 2 weeks, so he thought he had a good chance of passing it. Okay, so this is the introduction for your story. What comes next is the rising events. So what's happening now? The events following the introduction. While Dimitri was traveling to school on the bus, he remembered that he had forgotten to take his wallet with him, so he didn't have any money to buy lunch. Just after this, his friend Lucas got on the bus. Okay, so this is the problem here. While Dimitri was traveling to school on the bus, he remembered that he had forgotten to take his wallet. So this is the problem of the story. This is the peak of the story. Then his friend got on the bus. So what happened? Can I borrow some money, Lucas? Asked Dimitri. You have to pay attention here that for a new speech, we have a new paragraph. Sure, no problem, replied Lucas. Here you go. So, the problem being solved. The two boys did the English exam while they were having lunch. Dimitri asked Lucas if he thought the exam had been difficult. Lucas smiled and picked up the slice of chocolate cake that he was eating. It was so easy. It was a piece of cake, said Lucas, smiling. It was a piece of cake. This is an idiom. Remember figurative language when you're writing a story. Similes, metaphors, and idioms, of course. Personification. Top tips for writing. Your story should have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Any story has the three: beginning, middle, and end. The middle usually has the problem of the story. Use clear paragraphs. That's a must as well. And whenever a new character appears, you add a new paragraph. Whenever there's a new speech, you add a new paragraph. Or you start a new paragraph. And of course, you need a paragraph for a new setting as well. Change of time, change of place. Use a variety of narrative tenses. Use direct speech or indirect speech when the characters talk. Okay, you also use a lot of descriptive words, words for feeling, synonyms. You cannot repeat the same words more than once. You have to show the examiner you have a wide variety of vocabulary. So you have to put in powerful vocabulary, powerful verbs. And I think you have a lot of sheets for synonyms. Okay, so that's the recap for stories. I'll wait for your questions on the Telegram channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep safe.